as the Panthers are set to match up with the Houston Texans. The Panthers kicker Graham Gano set and ready to go as we are off from Charlotte. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Texans take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Mike. We're set. 19. Pick me up. Here we go.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 31, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
We're set. 19. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Me and you all day. All day. Let's go.
A first down carry now for Miller. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. Spins away. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check 55 to Mike. Great. Check. Great.
From the 24, Newton. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
What we got?
Now a first down throw for Newton. Escaping the pressure right. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And the Texans scoop it. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football.
So it should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
On second down, here's Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11. They'll run on first down. It's Miller, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11th. Watson with a give to Miller, and he is going to lose yardage here. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a look.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
On 2nd and inches, Newton, and he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Well, he is marked down right about on top of that imaginary yellow line, but they say he's a bit short. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. Here comes Carter. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Now on 2nd and 16, Watson, and he'll find QT on the right side complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he's got room. And they work this out past the 25. That good for 22 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job,
and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Newton. Buying time to his left. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the second time.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
And now out comes Houston. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 84 yards. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. After a fairly uneventful first quarter, that last play, that'll make a few highlight clips.
It certainly will, and you're exactly right. The first quarter almost felt like a feeling out process, didn't it? Both teams, okay, what are we going to do? Looks like they've ramped things up just a little bit to start the second quarter.
This will be taken in at the 1. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Now, right now, under 100 yards of total offense. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
Not get him. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
2nd and 5 now. Newton. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Curtis Samuel, the intended target. And it's 3rd and 5.
Here we go. Ready? Stay with your man.
A shotgun snap for Newton. He's going to look deep for more. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On the return, Carter. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Caught left side, Hopkins. We have hit halftime, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter.
Keep playing.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Starting the 2nd half with a run by McCaffrey. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the 3rd quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 49-yard line.
Penetration here. Let's get some penetration. Hey!
Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. Smith catches left side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the 1st half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. But it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
I got you. Here we go.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, 27 yards. And the Panthers have tied this game up. They can take the lead with the extra point. Gano the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Out of the gun, Watson on the move to his left. Room here to run. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially his second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Back to throw, Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Thomas the intended target, and it's 3rd and 4.
He was covered by Dante Jackson.
He's set. 218. Longer jump.
To throw is Watson. And he comes back with one complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. A shotgun handoff now to Miller. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Tackle made by K'Wan Short.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On 1st down, Miller. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And we're back now in Charlotte. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Flush to his right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. That's a corner that got in there for the sack. Dante Jackson. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans have retaken the lead. from the gun. Here's Watson. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. He hits the big target for the two-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. The Panthers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Newton. But it's caught on the right side. It's Smith.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Newton, meanwhile, here connecting with McCaffrey. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
12 yards there and a 1st down. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
After the interception, here's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Watson on 3rd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 64 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I started with one of the better defense coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
First and 10 at their own 20
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
2nd and 10. Newton again. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. 15 yards on the play. First down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now Newton on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. Well, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. The Panthers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Newton to throw. Airing it out for Olsen. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Greg Olsen, 57 yards. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just under 2 minutes to play, and this would figure to pretty much be your ball game right here. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. Watson going to give this one to Miller. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here we go. Check 59. Mike is 59.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day, all day.
And an alley to run. He's got the lane, and there he goes. A big play there for Carolina. 48 yards. Well, hello. I mean, it took him a while to get him a rep, but that's quite an introduction to this game.
And not just hello. How about goodbye to the defense as he went past him? Big-time run on his first carry of the game.
Here's Newton. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 12 yards as they get to reset the sticks.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Check 55, Mike. I'm here all day.
From the red zone now, Newton. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. And it sets them back for second down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Going deep for Hopkins. That's caught inside the 20. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.